Oxtails. The way I clean my oxtails is I rinse them with water first. Then I soak them in vinegar and lemon for about 30 minutes. And then I rinse really good again. Now, once I did that, I went ahead and I cut some of the fat off, well, a lot of the fat off. Now, you need the fat for the flavor. However, I don't like a lot of fat on mine, so I went ahead and I trimmed the bigger ones and got a lot of the fat off. Of course, I left some because you need the fat for the flavor. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to season my oxtails. Now, you don't really, there's no real right or wrong with seasoning. You season to your taste. A lot of people use the Step Your Mama. It's a little bit too salty for me. I don't like using it. So I'm just gonna use some. So I'm gonna be using just regular seasoning salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and you can use what you want. I bought some of this oxtail seasoning a couple of weeks ago when I was in Jamaica. I'm gonna put a little bit on there if it don't smell too hot. I don't like hot food, but if you like hot, this right here is for you. This or that slap your mama. The slap your mama is a little too salty, but this right here got a good combination of salt and heat. I don't like a lot of it, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on there. This is some Eden's Jamaican oxtail seasoning. Let me smell it. Ooh, it smells a little hot, so I'm just gonna put just a little bit. Ooh, that smell hot. So once I do that, I'm gonna mix it all up. Then I'm gonna prepare my flour. I'm gonna put the same seasoning in my flour, and I'm gonna add some brown gravy mix. So the same seasoning plus a little brown gravy mix. One number a little bit in there. And I'm not gonna put no more of that because that seems very hot. And then I'm just gonna mix that up really well. And I'm gonna add some brown seasoning mix, brown gravy mix. Any kind of brown gravy mix. Now you can make your homemade gravy, but I'm gonna do it this way, and it's gonna make its own gravy, so I don't have to do the gravy. I can add extra, or I can make gravy to the side and add it, but I'm gonna do it just like this. I'm gonna go back in here, and I'm gonna make sure I got this seasoning all around these oxtails. They smell really, really good. Now once I make sure I have that seasoning on there, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flour them. Now this is where I'm doing something different. I'm gonna brown my oxtails in the oven. So I'm gonna brown them in my oven on 350. Okay, all I'm doing now is taking the oxtails and putting them in the flour mixture. I'm gonna put the top on the flour ball and just shake it up. One thing you want to do, you want to make sure that your oxtails are completely covered in the flour mixture. Make sure they are completely covered. Once you do that, you're going to set them on your oven pan. You do not have to grease the pan or put any oil on it. Just take the oxtails that are covered with the flour mixture and put them on the pan. Once you have them on the pan, you're going to add your Holy Trinity and onions. So I have some cut up bell peppers, red, yellow, and green, and some onions. And I just kind of sprinkle them on the oxtails and put them in the oven. You're going to put them in the oven at 350 long enough for them to brown, about 30 to 45 minutes. So the oxtails are in the oven and they are browning. I put some of the Holy Trinity in there. You do not need to cover it up. Season, then flour with seasoned flour, and just let it go for about 45 minutes at 350. Do not cover it up. Okay, so while I wait on the oxtails to brown, I'm going to go ahead and make my bouillon. I'm going to use some beef bouillon cubes. Make my broth. I'm sorry. I'm gonna use some beef bouillon cubes to make my broth, and I'm gonna throw some chicken bouillon cubes. And the kind I use is Weiler's chicken with herbs and spices. This is really, really good. So I'm gonna put a couple of these in here, or you can buy the beef broth already made. I just use these because I have these cubes. So 1 cube is supposed to be for 8 ounces of water. So 1 cube per 8 ounces of water. This is a whatever size pan. I got a little bit more than half full of water, and I'm gonna put a lot of cubes in there. So that's my measurements. A lot of water and a lot of cubes. I keep putting them in there till the gods of the ancestors tell me to stop. Or you can just buy you some beef broth, or make you some beef stock. Some spices and herbs. Put a couple more in the actual GP. And now, okay, so the oxtails have been in here probably about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Ooh, perfectly brown. Look at there. Ain't that much oil, grease, because I took some of the fat off. Let's get a look at them. Brown perfectly. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put them in my electric skillet. Now, got some ginger and lemon. I'm finna make me some lemonade. I'm not feeling that well. So I'm gonna make me some lemonade. So I'm gonna take the oxtails and I'm gonna put them in my electric skillet. If you don't have an electric skillet, you definitely can use a pot with a top on top of the oven. You can put them in your crock pot. You can use your pressure cooker. There's plenty of ways to cook them. I'm just gonna use my electric skillet to do mine. My broth, and I'm gonna put some broth in here. Then get a little boil and roar. Then I'm gonna take some of this savory infusions. It's beef and caramelized onion, and I'm gonna put a little in there. Once I open it, and we're gonna let this cook. Medium, turn it down to medium. I got it to a roar. I'm gonna turn it down to medium. Now, if it cook and it needs to be thickened up, I kept some of the flour. I can add flour to it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some onions and some peppers to this also. Get some of them red peppers in there. Go ahead and put it all in there. And I'm gonna put the top on there. And this will take about 3 hours. I keep checking on it, make sure it don't stick or anything. It shouldn't with the top on it. I'm gonna turn it down to low and I'm gonna let it cook for about 3 hours. Checking it often. A little boil. I went ahead and I turned it down to low. And I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna put the top on it and let it do its magic. Okay, so I ended up putting foil on here. It was cooking really, really fast, and there was a lot of evaporation going out. So I put some foil on there and turned it down really low, 2 hours. I haven't used this skillet but maybe one time since I've had it. I've had it for maybe 5 or 6 years. Oh my God, these look so good. So I turned them down. You can see they are already tender. Right at 2 hours. I'm just flipping them over. Getting that flour mixed up in there. where I browned it, making sure my gravy in there. Now, while I'm cooking, I let the gravy stay real loose. So I'm not gonna thicken it up until I'm almost done. If I thicken it up, I might not need thickening up. I still have to add my potatoes and carrots that I'm gonna add. So this is looking really, really good. Man, oxtails don't have the meat like they used to have, but I have ribs also. Plus I'm the only one eating the oxtails. Oh shoot. Let me get the thing closer so you can see. I apologize. Get that light in there. There we go. So you see how it is brown, even though we did not put it in the skillet and brown it to sear it. We actually browned it in the oven. Same thing as if I would have did it on top of the stove and browned it with a little bit of oil, but this way we didn't use any oil. So I'm gonna continue to let these cook. Again, you can put these on your stove top. You could have also put them back in the oven. They can be cooked in the oven. So I just decided to use my little. I'm trying to keep the evaporation out of there. I always do that. I cover up the little hole on my top on my crock pot also. I'm sure I'm not supposed to do it, but it's my food, so yeah. It's so close to 2 hours. Oh my God, they're falling off the bones already. So I'm gonna get ready to put my vegetables in here. So I'm gonna get ready to add my potatoes and my carrots. That's gonna be for taste. Look at them oxtails. Oh my goodness. So I have some bite-sized honey gold potatoes. And I have some carrot chips. And I'm gonna put them in with the oxtails. I'm just gonna cut these potatoes in half. I'm not gonna peel them. I'm cutting them in half so they can cook quicker. I don't want to overcook my oxtails. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of the broth. Add my potatoes and my carrots. And this is the last 30 minutes. That taste is so freaking good. I'm gonna turn it back down, put the top back over it, and let it cook about another 30 minutes until my vegetables are tender. Okay, so the potatoes and carrots have been in about 30 minutes on rip. Oh my goodness, y'all look at this. Ooh, wait. It smells so good. So it's been on 30 minutes at about a low. Look at this. Look, y'all. Oh my goodness. Just falling off the bone. Potatoes are done. Look at that. I'm just so happy with this. I'm so happy with this. Oh my goodness.
Everyone's invited, get excited. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun with the things that we found. So listen up, I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna show you the things that I do. I'm gonna make a bit of this thing and that. So join me today and hear what I say on Craft and Chat.